This month we've been continuing to give our food forest a lot of love and attention. Last month I began clearing and mulching all of the fruiting shrubs and trees in the lower area of our food forest. And this month I've moved up to the autumn raspberries, de-brambling them first, and then cutting them right down. We only tend to do this every other year, and we find that this is perfect to keep them productive. And on the years that we don't cut them back, we usually get a bonus summer crop as well as an autumn harvest, which you can see in this summer tour video here. Production drops if we leave them longer than this. Summer raspberries are different, and we just remove last year's deadwood in the winter if we get around to it. I can't believe how open the food forest looks now. So I'm feeling a bit down today, because since I filmed in here last at the end of January, the rats that we have been having issues with since last summer have now started eating our beautiful salad plants as well. And we've been trying everything we can to combat this using natural methods, and just nothing seems to be getting on top of the situation. And then 2 nights ago, we had our first night where we hadn't had any rat activity in this polytunnel. We'd blocked off all the entrances. I've got cameras up in here, and I can normally tell if there's been any signs of activity or additional damage to plants. So we thought we'd cracked it. And then today I've come in and checked, and I could see straight away that there had been rats in here again, and they have had another really good go at this batch of salad at this end of the tunnel. And we have had 2 really good harvests from this salad since I filmed in here last, because I figured if the rats were eating it, I wanted to get as much of it for us as possible as well. And also the plants needed lightening up. But this is not how I left the plants after I harvested last. The only interesting thing I have noticed from this is that they seem to prefer the plain green leafed lettuce, and the plants with the red tinges to the leaves, they are not completely leaving alone, but they're certainly not favouring those ones. So yeah, an interesting fact about rats there. And you can see all along this side of the tunnel how they are just digging and churning up the ground as well. So we haven't been able to plant into this side yet until we have completely excluded the rats from in here. But yeah, I've got to pick myself up and get motivated, because today in the tunnel next door we are about to plant our extra early new potatoes, and fingers crossed the rats won't sniff them out in there as well. So we've got 4 different varieties of early potatoes that we're going to be planting in here today. We've got Swifts that we did last year, and we really like the Swifts. We've got Sharps, Charlottes and International Kidney. So that is 112 seed potatoes planted up into this polytunnel, and we will come back and take a look in a few weeks' time when hopefully all of these potatoes are sprouting and coming through. It's the 7th of February and already our apricot trees are trying to blossom. I'm just a bit worried this is a little bit too soon. It's the middle of February today, which is a really big day for us because this is the day that we always organise and set up our propagation area, which is a much needed job, and I am itching to get sowing seeds. We've got our work cut out for us because this area has become a dumping zone all through the winter, but today it is all going to be tidied up and it is going to look amazing. And I think we may have just found where our rats have been living, and there is one hole at either end where they might have been coming in and out. Come on, where are you, rats?
That's where they were, that was a nest. That's where their bedding material.
It looks like they were in here.
It's the bedding.
But they've gone. That could be a good sign. And we are done in here. I don't know what the time is. It is starting to get dark, so I think it's later than I would like it to be. But we have done our spring clean in our propagation tunnel. It is looking great. It is ready to go. And so the next couple of days when it is due to be wet, I can get in here and start sowing our first proper batches of seeds for the year. And I totally get why it's called spring cleaning now, because it just makes you feel so invigorated and ready to go. So yeah, we are ready, and I will give you a bit of a proper look around in here once I've got some seeds going. Morning folks, it is a beautiful day here in the south of England, and we are going to be making the most of it today. But before I got started on other stuff, I wanted to give you a quick update on what's been happening in my polytunnel since I filmed last. So the good news is we have finally got rid of the rats from this tunnel, for now at least. And that means I have been able to put the bed back together on this side and finally get my broad beans planted, which I wanted to plant in December, I think. So they are in the ground now, really happy about that. And all of the salad and herbs that the rats and mice had been chewing on are bouncing back and growing again. We obviously lost some stuff that won't come back, like the cows. You might have seen me talk about that in another video. And I'm not sure if the spinach is going to bounce back yet. I'm not sure if they've chewed out the centres. We'll wait and see on those. But the main thing is the salad is looking beautiful. I had a big tidy up in here the other day. I picked a lovely, massive amount of salad, tidied all the plants, pulled out any weeds, because that is one of the things we found this year. With no dig layers, we shouldn't be getting the weeds coming through, but because the rats were disturbing all the soil, we were getting weeds coming up. So had a good weed. And how we have stopped the rats is we've excluded them from the tunnel. So they're probably still around on the land. We are working on that, but we're just hoping that for now they might have moved on. And we're trying a few different methods, which I'll share in another video, that will hopefully just make them decide they want to move off and find somewhere better to be. But for now, and this is thanks to one of our watchers, one of our viewers, who suggested it, and it seemed really obvious, but we were reluctant to just create barriers and stop them coming in, because their main entrance was a hole they had chewed through the plastic in our polytunnel up in this corner here. And we were concerned that if we just blocked that off, that they would just keep chewing more holes through. But when they started attacking the salad as well, it got to the stage where we had to do something about it. So we changed the door at the front so they couldn't dig in anymore. It's dug into the ground. We have now also blocked off the hole that they chewed through. And then through using our wildlife cameras in here, we worked out that they were still getting in because they were climbing over the top of the door. So Dan has now done a new little addition to the door, and we've created a shelf on top, so it means there's an overhang, so it's really difficult for them to get in. And so far now, 1 week in, success! Over the last couple of weeks since I filmed our last vlog, we have had some pretty exciting advancements in our storage shed and workshop again. So I'm going to take you in and show you what's happening in there now. And as you can see, Dan has been chipping away at the finishing work on this side of the workshop. He has built this beautiful bench out of reclaimed wood that we got from a waste site. And he has been oiling and just doing the finishing on the walls. We have electric in here, so I have now got my heated propagator with all my chilies and peppers and aubergines going. And look at that beautiful low wattage lamp, all running from our solar panels. And something that we were asked about in a previous video by one of our watchers was how we were going to seal the gaps and the draft around the stable door. And as you can see, Dan has started to do that now by building a door frame around the inside, and then we've also got little brushes that we're going to be fitting all around the door frame that will help to seal it up as well. So we are super stoked to have the electricity up here now, which is running from our solar system. And yeah, that means we've got lights and we've got plug sockets so we can run tools and charge batteries. And it also means I can have my heated propagator in here to help me start the seeds that need a little bit extra heat. So yeah, we are beyond happy with how this place is shaping up. And now I'm going to roll out my mat and do my yoga in the beautiful big floor space that we have left up here as well. And just a quick update for you already on our potatoes. It is the 23rd of February today, and we have got shoots coming through from our first potatoes, and this variety is the Swifts. And the last thing I wanted to share with you for this month's vlog was a quick look at what seeds we've been sowing already. So I did my first batch of seeds in the middle of February, and I sowed beetroot, 3 different types of peas. We've got a mixed tray here of greens and herbs, a tray of kohlrabi, and then 2 trays of bulbing onions down the end here. And I have got a few more seeds I'd like to sow before the end of the month if I get round to it, mainly lettuces and a few more greens. But if I don't get those done, all of those and most of these seeds can still all be sown in March, so we are all good. Probably onions from seed are the only ones that are getting a bit tight if you haven't sown those already. But yeah, so really enjoying our newly organised propagation area. We've got a few other exciting things in here that we'll be planting out, more rosemary for the food forest. There's a few little more exotic plants here for the food forest that I'll be growing on a bit before I plant those out. We've got the autumn olive aleagnus, ginkgo biloba, which I've always wanted. I'm not sure if it will fully make it here, but we're going to give it a try. So, and then another pepper tree, which we've already got a couple of those in the food forest, but we thought we lost one, and it is one of those that needs a pollination partner, or you need more than one of them to get good pollination. So yeah, this is our first sown of the year, February. I hope you've enjoyed this month's vlog. If you'd like to see more of our videos, then make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Click the like button down below, and we will catch you here again soon. Thanks for watching. Peace and plants.